Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first episode of Ronnie's Musketeer show. Ronnie Vadine here with you. So, we're going to go over some things that have happened throughout the past 2 weeks. We recorded those videos for all four of the hockey games on the 25th, the 27th of February, and then the first and second one. But we had a lot of audio problems, and May 2nd's game, there wasn't any interruptions, no audio cutout or anything, but it was a hard time trying to get them on YouTube. So yeah, I was going to record them, but now we're going to go back to live streaming them, and yeah, so that we don't have any more problems like that like we had in the last video. And then I can turn off this microphone like this. Like that. See, yeah. So let's take a look at Friday the 25th game. Oh, by the way, Sioux City is on a record of 19, 13, and 6. That is good for 44 points. Their next opponent is this Saturday. It's the Chicago Steel, 25, 13, and 1. That is good for 51 points. Pre-game show at 6:50. Game starts at 7 o'clock. And then they go on a road trip for a week, and then they come back home to face Fargo on the 19th. Pre-game show is at 6:20. No. Pre-game show will be at 6:25. Game starts at 6. No. Yeah. Pre-game show it's at 6. No. What? Yeah. No. Pre-game show starts at 6:20, and the game starts at 6:30. So yeah. So let's take a look at Friday the 25th game against Des Moines. Sioux City lost 3-1. That was their second straight loss because they lost to Chicago 5-1 on Saturday the 19th, I believe is what it was. There were 4 players on IR that day. It was Bobby, Luke Johnson, Dominic Vidoli. He's one of the new people. And then Brock Baker. They were all on IR. And right now Brock Baker is still on IR, and so is Luke Johnson. So I doubt that he will be playing. Musketeers play Friday in Lincoln. No, they play Friday in Omaha. And I doubt, to me, that I will be surprised if Luke Johnson plays this game because it seems like he's hurt. It seems like he's constantly out. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if it's for the rest of the season, or I don't know. I don't know the full details on that, but when I do, I will be sure to share them to you in an upcoming broadcast. Excuse me. Or I could just do this. So yeah, I could just do that too. Yeah, and Sean Bunting was suspended too, so there were 5 players out that game. So yeah, there were 5 players out that game, not because they were a healthy scratch or any of that. They were either suspended or they were on IR. But right now, Dominic Vidoli and Brock Baker are off of IR. No. Bobby Brink and Brock Baker are off of IR, and they're playing pretty well, in my opinion. So, yeah, we'll get into more details on that later on. Krenzen 1 goal. Malcolmson 1 assist that game. The Musketeers' only goal came in the second period. Right now, Des Moines is 24, 12, and 4. That is good for 52 points. They are 3rd in the Western Conference. Chicago's 2nd in the Western Conference, or Eastern Conference, rather. And right now, Omaha right now Sioux City is 5th. They need to get 8 more points, so they need to win 4 straight games, and then they would be on a 5-game winning streak. That will tie their longest one since last year when they beat. Let's see, who did they beat? I gotta yank out last year's schedule. Hold on once. Oh, I found it. Yeah, I gotta yank out last year's schedule. It's kind of ripped up a little bit. Yep, they had 5 straight wins. It was against. Their first 2 was against Central Illinois. The third one was against Sioux Falls. The fourth one was against Lincoln in a beautiful overtime goal by Cole Koepke. He got drafted by the Tampa Bay Lightning, I believe, this year. And Omaha with their 5th straight victory in overtime. So. I have such a sore throat from broadcasting these games this past weekend. Yeah, so hopefully the audio quality is working out good. Let's see here. Where was I? So, yep, I'm done with that game. Let's move on to the 27th. Tri-City wins against Sioux City 3-2. Right now, Tri-City is first in the Western Conference at 29-9-2. That is good for 60 points. Right now, they're on I don't know if they still are, but they're 7-3 in their last 10. They're on a 1-game losing streak. Yeah, it looks like, yeah. Sioux City. Alright, well, no, Tri-City, their record at that time was 28-8-2. So, yeah. And then Sioux City's record at the time, I believe, was 18-12. Yeah, their record at that time was 18-12-5. Oh, I got a new comment on my video. Let's check it out. Okay. Okay. I'll reply to it later. It's from James. He goes to school with me. So, yeah. Martin Pospisil 1 goal. Aaron Grounds 1 goal. That was basically it. There was a 16-round shootout on Sunday, which was just crazy. I mean, it was crazy. Parker Ford, Matt Miller, and Alvin Nielsen, all with 1 assist. Let's go to Friday's game. Muskegon, they win 5-4 to Sioux City. This is Sioux City's 4th straight loss. So, yeah. It was just crazy. I mean, Sioux City was up 3-1 at one point. Here, I'm going to go back to see if I can get that game recap of the goals here. So I'm going to pull up the game from that night. Sorry guys, I'm just pulling up the game here. I thought I was going to burp. Yeah, scoring went crazy. Sioux City was up 3-1, and Muskegon Muskegon came back and took a 5-3 lead, and then Sioux City scores with only a minute and 11 left. That made it 5-4, but Muskegon still won that game, 5-4. That was the final. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was going on with Sioux City that night. It seems like they play worse against teams that are really good. I mean, Muskegon is first in the Eastern Conference. I mean, you have to play it's literally impossible to beat them, to be honest. I mean, literally. I don't know if they're still first. I bet you $1 million they're still first. Yeah, right now, yeah, Muskegon actually just lost. So, yeah, they have a record of 28-9-3 now. That's good for 59 points. So, yeah. Excuse me. Bobby Brink, first game since November 24th against Des Moines. So, yep. He didn't score in that game. Well, he might have gotten an assist. Yeah, he got an assist in that game. Yeah. So, Matt Miller, 1 goal. Nolan Krenzen, 1 goal. Wilhelm Niemanen, 1 goal. Albin Nielsen, 1 goal. The third goal that made it 3-1 was assisted by Ben Cross, who was the goaltender for that game. That one was assisted by Jack Babbage as well. And then we have a couple new additions to this Musketeers team. We have Matthew Steinberg. Apparently, I heard from Coach in an interview with the radio announcer for the Musketeers that Coach Luke Strand said, they were only allowed to play any 2 games during the season or something like that or whatever. So, yeah, Matthew Steinberg played his 2 games, Saturday and Monday night for New Year's. Saturday, Sioux City, the 29th, Sioux City won that game. It was by a score of 4-3. And then Sioux City, I believe it was Matthew Steinberg who got his first USHL fight in that game. And then the situation with, the 31st, we had, really the 31st, it was an interesting game because Sioux City won 4-3 in that game, but that was in overtime. I have a full sheet of notes here, and it's kind of confusing to read my own handwriting. Devlin McCabe, he's one of the new additions to this team. We really would like to hope to see, and Coach said that he would hope to see Sam Stang by the beginning of next season. Sam Stang, he's played 2 games with Sioux City. Yep, Stang played 2 games last season with Sioux City. He's already played his 2 games. He's played 2 games this year with 1 goal and 1 assist. And according to Coach Strand, he will be in the lineup for sure next season. So can't wait to see how he performs in that game. Let's see, where was I? So, yeah. Unbelievable game Saturday night. Sioux City against Madison. Madison is 8-24-5. That is good for 21 points. They're last in the Eastern Conference. They're on a 4-game losing streak. Sioux City, my goodness. Both teams terribly inconsistent. It was unbelievable. Sioux City wins this game 7-4. 7-4. Their highest scoring game since 2017, where they won 8-1 against Team USA. Just incredibly inconsistent. It was unreal. I mean, Madison scored the first goal. It was by Noah Weber. It was unassisted. My oh my. It was 3-1 Sioux City after period number 2. Then by the end of the second, it was 5-3 by the end of the second. Third period, Marcus Kelly scored his 19th on the year, assisted by Bobby Brink. Dominic Vidoli, that was on the power play. Sioux City, 2 power play goals. Madison scored the next one, 6-4, and then Kevin Lombardi empty netter from Aaron Grounds. So yeah, it was about 10 seconds. How broadcasters sometimes get sore throats and they get laryngitis or whatever. I felt like the next day I would not have a voice at all. Like my throat with like 20 seconds left. I was so excited. I was like, oh, the Musketeers are going to win this game by a score 7-4. Unbelievable. Like I could hear my voice starting to get sore. Like really, it was unbelievable. 7-4, and I was like, score 11 times. It was unbelievable, like literally. And me and Mom were thinking about, and if Carson, you're my cousin, if you see this video, I would like to invite you to a hockey game this year. My mom said she would think about it. But how this game would go, Carson has one of the schedules that are like this, the flip one, kind of, because I gave him one, and he requested one, so, yeah. We weren't going to invite him New Year's Eve, but we just never did, so I would hope to go to a hockey game sometime the rest of the year. But here's the thing, I'm going to be broadcasting that game. And so here's how this is going to work. The only way he's going to have to be in my broadcast is if that they sit in a suite. Because you can't go up there without a pass or whatever. So, and I have one, so yeah. So they're going to have to request a suite. I don't know how much it costs to get a suite. And I don't know how many people more or whatever. I think you can get like 4 or more. I mean, the least I've seen in a suite is 4, so I would suppose it would be 4, so yeah. And if they choose a suite to get up there, then they don't need a pass to come toward me. So yeah. I don't know. Well, we're going to have to work something out. But we will do that sometime before the season. I would really hope to get Carson on a broadcast before the season ends. That's my goal. So yeah. I mean, both teams incredibly inconsistent. Ben Cross, I mean, he had a good night, but he let in 4 goals. I'm going to go see that game recap. If I had my laptop with me, it would be much easier. I mean, Ben Cross was 22 for 24 that game. I mean, Sioux City was... It was all Sioux City in this game. 7-4. Sioux City, in each period, scored at least 1 or more goals. Or actually 2 or more goals. Like, there were no 1-goal periods or stuff like that. 3 in the first, 2 in the second, and 2 in the third. Sioux City was 2 for 4 on the power play. Madison was 1 for 3 on the power play. 35-26 were the final shots. So, Ben Cross, 22 of 26. I don't know what the percentage is. I'm going to have to look it up here. So, 22 divided by 26. So, he stopped 84% of his shots. Now, I believe it was after the 4th goal. Yeah, it was after the 4th goal. They switched goalies. So, Joseph Lamoureux was switched, and that put in Garrett McKay. And Lamoureux was 13 for 17. I almost said 14. So he stopped 76% of his shots. And Garrett McKay stopped, I believe, it around 90% of his shots. Yeah, 87% of his shots. So, yeah. That's kind of unbelievable. And for a team that's been bad all year long. But that will do it. We're going to do this series every single Tuesday. So, yeah. Thursday, we're going to have... I was going to do it right after this, but I decided... I don't have down any stats or anything like that. So Thursday, Ronnie's NFL show. What that will be about is I'm gonna do thank yous, Pro Bowl review. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Ben Cross did not start that game. Jake Seibel won that game. Garrett McKay took the loss. So yeah, I apologize on that. Really. Because I knew it couldn't have been Cross. I'm like, why am I saying Cross? It's Seibel. So yeah, I'm going to do Super Bowl review, thank yous to people who supported and stuff like that. Our final year-end report cards or stuff like that. Yeah. So, yeah, and then we're going to do a preview of Ronnie's MLB show. Which it's basically the same thing as Ronnie's NFL show, except for it's just baseball stuff. Baseball teams. I might switch up the rules a little bit, so yeah. If Carson wants to join that, he can do too. I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye. And you've seen Carson in a couple